Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattle Tales from the Vector. This is a general or collective reading, so parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and just leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That might give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, we do have the Six of Wands as the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. This is saying victory. So this is saying that you have won a prize, or you have won a competition. Perhaps this could be even something like a promotion at work, that type of energy. And it's because you were able to rein in your emotions and, maybe if it was for a promotion at work, you were able to rein in your emotions and really do a good job of the interview, and clearly came out as the leader. These other people in the background, some of them look a little disgruntled. Perhaps they really wanted this position as well. But they have to admit you were the clear leader. And the reason is because you have learned to rein in your emotions and when you're under stress, and be able to discipline your mind so that you have the best performance you can in any given moment. And if you're just 1% better every time you go out there and perform, you're going to continuously being a better version of yourself. This is talking about the Nine of Cups. So this is something that you really wanted. It's something prestigious. This person looks like they're sitting on a stage. So this could be, a public figure energy. This could be something that a lot of people really admire. And, this is sitting on a stage. This person is on the stage, and it's talking about the Nine of Cups is saying, okay, you don't really have it yet. There's 10 cups in tarot. The 9 cups, the cups in tarot represent love. Sometimes this is romantic love, but I don't think you want 9 cups unless you want a harem. But this is talking more about love of everything, of love of everything and anything. So this is talking about having fulfillment in your life, loving your partner, of course, loving your children, your family, loving where you live, loving your career, that type of energy, having a lot of fulfillment in your life. And the most of cups that you can have is 10, and so this is 9. This is saying that you're highly favored to receive this, but you have to stay focused, stay in your energy. You can see this person just by their body language here. You notice the feet are turned out, and that causes leaking from the base chakra energy. And so this is saying, you can tell he's losing a bit of focus, maybe a little bit tired. There's 9 cups here. Now, we don't know if these are in the past and they're behind him, if they're above him, or if they're forward. There's only one more cup to go. This card is basically saying keep your focus and don't quit now. Whatever you do, keep moving forward. And because you're highly favored, but you don't want to be distracted right now. And you notice how he has his arms here almost in the shape of an infinity symbol. It reminds me of a genie. So it's saying, keep your focus, and you just might get what you are wanting there. And this is talking about, again, you notice how similar the body language is here in some ways, but yet it's totally different in the upper body. So again, the energy is leaking from the bottom here. The swords in tarot represent the energy of your thoughts, basically. They're the element of air. And this is talking about this person has a closed mind here. They can only see 2 ways of doing something here, and they've got a blindfold on, so it's kind of like neither one of those 2 ways is satisfying to them. And so they're trying to figure out, should I do this or should I do that? And sometimes this energy can boil down to, is it going to be my way or the highway? So this being in a closed mind these days can be really, really challenging energy, because there's a lot of push for new in the astrological energy just in the world in general, there's just always something new coming out, new ways of doing things. With the AI, it's changed a lot already. There's just that's the way the planet is right now. There always is a lot of change on the planet. Sometimes we don't notice as much, but at this time you can feel it. There's a lot of astrological influences that are really happening right now in a big way. And, we had a lot of planets in the last year move into the sign of Aries. And now we still have Neptune in there for 14 years, and we still have Saturn in there for almost 2.5 to 3. They were sitting on top of each other, and that's very heavy energy. But now they're kind of separating a little bit. They're still both together in that sign, but they're not on top of each other. And so it's starting to lighten up a little bit. But if you've been feeling kind of like, whoa, this is heavy energy, yes, it is. And it's also all these planets moving into the sign of Aries at once here has only happened like the astrologists were saying it could probably happen again in the next 500 to 800 years. So it's not a small event, and it's really pushing everybody to do things in a new way. And that's this kind of energy here. Closed-minded energy is not going to be that beneficial. And you can hide all you want, like an ostrich with its head in the sand, but you still are going to have to deal with the consequences. And the upper body here, you can see that she has her hands crossed over her heart. And this is representing feeling vulnerable and wanting to protect the heart. Also, the right arm is holding the left arm back, and that's saying that your logical mind is wanting to hold your intuition back. Yet, we have a new moon in the background. We just had a new moon on the 18th, on the 16th. And so it's that energy is waning a little bit, but this is the best time to use your intuition. And there's never only two ways of doing things. So if you use your logic and your intuition together, you're going to be more likely to get creative solutions to your problems. And we have the Two of Pentacles as well. So Two of Pentacles energy is talking about juggling. It can be juggling, work hard, play hard. This is the Pentacle energy. Pentacles talk about the energy of health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world. And, a big part of that, of course, is money. So, the pentacle energy is represented by coin. It's the element of earth. You have to have money to do well in the world these days. But you could have all the money in the world and not have your health and not have, love in your life. Excuse me. And you wouldn't be living the lifestyle that you want then. So this is talking, juggling these pentacles can be representing, like maybe you're working 2 jobs, or you're going to school and working to pay for school. This can represent, juggling your home life with your business life. What it is saying is don't juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. And it's also saying be careful that you don't get so busy that you burn yourself out. You see that this wave here is gaining momentum, and the ship is getting bigger as well. This is saying sometimes we can be multitasking to the point where we're just busy for the sake of being busy. And then sometimes the quality of work suffers, and we have more quantity than quality, and we end up having to do things twice, which totally defeats the purpose. And then we have this energy here of the King of Wands, and this is one of the 4 kings in the minor arcana. He is sitting on his throne. His wand is the element of fire, and he is considered the sexiest of all the kings. He's very charismatic. He has a really good personality. People enjoy his company, and he's always optimistic. Well, not always, but most of the time. And a true visionary. He likes adventure and exploring the new ways to do things to make them better. He's ready to get up at a moment's notice and go on an adventure. He has a tendency to have, a bit of a wandering eye sometimes when it comes to matters of romance. He has a lot of choice in his life, and the fire signs in general are usually the last to settle down, when it comes to marriage and commitments of that nature. And so he, you may find this energy in the back here. You can see like that there's these salamanders in a circle in this line, and there's also a little salamander running here. This represents that that the king has protection from fire. Now, this energy can be also saying he's just smoking hot, or it could be saying, if where there's smoke, there's fire. So remember, in matters of romance, he tends to play the field a bit until he's more mature. And as I said, one of the last two mature. So just keep that in mind. Also, the Knight of Pentacles is an energy of a knight coming in with some sort of information or communication. The knights would travel far and wide to deliver communication. In the old days, that was the only long-distance communication they had. Nowadays, this communication could be coming in, and it could be a phone call, a text message, maybe an email. You get something in the mail. There's documents, or you're on social media and someone messages you, or there's an event and you go to it. And when you attend it, you meet someone, and then you actually are in person. So the Knight of Pentacles is delivering some communication or information about your lifestyle. Could be about your career or some money coming in. The thing about him, he's so slow. His horse is at a standstill. But when he does bring the offer in, it's usually a solid offer because he's done his homework, and that it's saying that if when it comes to Pentacles, it is a good idea when it comes to finances, etc., to make sure you do your homework, consult with, people that know about finances and that type of energy. So this information communication is coming in, and it's just saying, we'll see what this is about. Here we have a situation. The Three of Pentacles is talking about being in a position where you're in an elevated position right now. This represents you having mastered some sort of skill set, or you might have the certification after going to school here. We had mentioned, maybe working and going to school at the same time to pay for it, and this energy could be saying, hey, maybe now you're in an elevated position. You have the degree, the certificate, the papers, if whatever it is that you've been training or apprenticing in. This energy is putting you in a good elevated position. It's also saying that you are above the crowd, like you're standing out above the other people that maybe graduated from your class. You might have been valedictorian, going to college or university, and that type of energy. You might be the captain of your athletic team. Sometimes this can represent scholarships coming in, offers, scouts being out and about, and if you're a really good athlete, offering scholarships to go to their college or university, or maybe you're already there and now they're offering you to come and play for a professional team. It can represent, in the arts, entertainment industry, actors, actresses, Broadway, musicians. And so there's a lot of instances when someone's at the top of their game, especially in the entertainment and artist field. This person is doing stonework, and look at the beautiful sculpture he's doing. And so it's saying that you have to be very careful when you're in some of these industries, or you're at the top like that, that you make sure that any offer or contracts that you sign are in alignment with your lifestyle goals. Because quite often this energy, people tend to get breadcrumbed a lot of the time, especially in the entertainment industry, or signing contracts that you don't really fully understand, and professional sports, etc. And making sure also, like if say you are a professional athlete, and you have 4 or 5 offers, and the one with the most money is somewhere where you really don't want to live. It's across the country from your family. And maybe you have a young, a spouse, and you have a young family, and you don't want to be that far away from family when you're on the road in that. So it's taking into consideration all of those things, and also making sure that the contract is solid and there's no hidden elements. This quite often can represent this is my secret society, cult, slash whatever, energy out there that there may be hidden clauses in the contract, etc. So you want to make sure that what you're signing is in alignment with your goals and that there's no hidden energies there that you're going to have to deal with after. And then we have this energy of, this card has been coming up a lot, and I do feel it's because of all the new energy coming in, the AI, all of that type of thing. This is someone who's deep in their thoughts. They've got 8 swords here. 7 of them are behind them now, though. And so, this is representing your thoughts, and it could be, at one point I feel there was more water here because that represents emotion. And this person is all bound up and blindfolded, but there's really nothing physically stopping her from just walking away. But her mind, she feels like she's in a mental trap and doesn't know which direction to go, and so she's stuck. And this energy is feeling duty bound in some way. Quite often this represents having to make a really difficult choice. And we do have the castle in the background and saying that she's got her back to it. And then all these thoughts behind her. And I feel like this is talking about maybe moving, leaving family behind, leaving maybe separating or divorcing someone, that type of energy. It can be a lot of different things, leaving one career or quitting school because you just don't want to do it after, already putting some time in. Because you realize that's not the occupation I want to go in. It's that type of energy, like serious decisions that need to be made and not really, being confused as to which one to make and maybe emotional over it as well. And so this, she does have her right foot forward now on dry land. And I think there was more water here, as I said. Her left foot is still in a puddle, but it's shallow. And I do feel that, as she's made these decisions, she's put them behind her. Now there's just this one left, and she's okay. I feel this is the one. This is the course of action I'm going to take. And sometimes these can represent thoughts of people that were directing thoughts behind her back. And your thoughts are expressed through words, and then that could be like what people are saying behind this person's back, and possibly that type of energy. And so, but it looks like she's about to make a move forward. And look at this. It might have something to do with the King of Cups energy. We have 2 kings out here. And, we have this energy on this pentacle energy that the night communication is coming through. So the king, this could represent, King of Cups could be a lover that is wanting to offer a cup of love. Or this energy could be like this last cup that would make it the 10 of Cups. This could be someone that is an authority figure, something that is offering you a cup for something you love to do or be, and you're trying to make this decision. Is this a good choice? And because we do have the victory as the overriding energy here. So this quite often represents a cup of love, of romance, but I just don't get that feeling here. This is more, it feels like we've had a lot of pentacle energy, and there is passion here, but I feel like it's, a lot of choices needing to be made here in regard to career or opportunities or forward movement in your life. And this could be about something you love to do or be. The cups, and this could still be romantic love, but it also could be something you love to do or be, and this person is in a position to be able to empower you to do that, and you're trying to make a decision. Is this the best route to take? Now, the King of Cups is known to be the most emotionally available in matters of love, and also is... he's very good at with his emotions. He's learned to curb them. So this is, again, if this is reflecting your energy, this could be you saying, okay, I need to be more like the King of Cups. I need to rein my emotions in so I can be victorious in this situation. I need to make a decision here. It's that type of energy I feel about something that you love. If it's not representing that, sometimes this represents like a father figure, your paternal line. It can be uncles, cousins, brothers, that type of energy. I feel like this is depending. I mean, this still could be about love, but I feel like it's more about moving forward, doing something that you love to do, or having that. Oh, and look at that. We have a king and a queen of cups here. So you could be part of this couple. And it is about, a couple, because this is a couple, or this could be your parents' energy. And I'm almost feeling it's more like your parents' energy. Like this is, the Queen of Cups is, all about unconditional love. She has her love like a trophy here. Her cup is big, and and she's got a lid on it, and that's representing having a lid on her emotions as well. But she is also a container of unconditional love. This is the most maternal of all, and this couple would be the most traditional couple. I'm just getting a feeling that it could still be about, you could be one of these couple. You would have an idea more. I'm reading for several people, but I feel like this might be parents of someone who's trying to make this decision. And maybe it's harder to make this decision because they might belong to this energy here of, a church or a cult or a secret society or whatever. And they want her to go in one direction and she wants to go in a different direction. Could have something to do with that type of energy. That's making, because a lot of times this is not wanting to disappoint the people that you love, or finding the people that you love being disappointing. We'll keep going and we'll see. It can be different for everybody. We do have a Queen of Swords as well here. So the Queen of Swords is known to be very independent. She is... she's been there, done that, and has the t-shirt, and she does not want to put up with any bullshit. She has her left hand out saying that she's willing to receive this love. I feel this is your energy, and this is definitely your parents. I feel like that's or grandparents. I feel that's the way we're going here with this reading. It could be other, but I feel the main majority is going this way. So I feel like this is your energy, and you've had to make this. I feel you've made the decision, because this is now about discernment, and you're saying you want the love from your parents, but maybe they're angry with you, or they're in an energy where you're not doing what they want you to do. And so you're having to walk away from the situation. I just had a reading like this. Now, was that, I can't remember if it was one of because I just completed all the readings for the astrological for the end of May. And this energy came up where someone was having to make a decision about possibly leaving her family and relocating because of this type of energy. There's sometimes you have to remember with a lot of these secret societies, and there's some religions, there's all sorts of energies like that out there, but where the group is more important than the individual. And so if you don't follow what the group does, then, I can think of a couple religions, 3 or 4 right now, actually, where they just alienate you from the rest of the society. And so even your own parents aren't allowed to communicate with you anymore, because you've done something that is not considered to be part of this energy, and you're not willing to live in that way. So I do feel this could be a continued story of this, or another version of this. I feel this is happening a lot more than we realize. You see this coming out a lot right now in the news and all over the place, like all these different energies, different ways that people were living. And it's all, I don't know if it has to do with AI being able to gather information more quickly, but there's a lot of truth coming out. And we do have this energy right now also of Uranus moved into Gemini a few weeks ago. And this energy in Gemini, it's about the truth coming out, bottom line. If you want to look more into that, I do check out my astrological insight ones. This energy is around the end of April, the beginning of May. And it's really caused like a lot of truth to come out. It's like every day there's like, whoa, some more information coming out. And I just feel like this is something to do with that type of energy, where she's reaching out. She's made the decision. I've made my decision. I'm moving forward in this way. I love my parents. I want my parents to love me back. I've got my hand extended. I'm ready to receive that love. But she also has her sword up, saying that, you know, I'm not putting up with any bullshit from anybody. If you're going to treat me in a with bullshit, I'm not interested. Like, this is my decision. I've come to my decision. It took a lot for me to come to it. So this is what she's going ahead and doing. And it could be vice versa. She might be joining some sort of society, and now this is her parents aren't in alignment with it. But I feel like it's the other way around, because she does have her left hand out, willing to receive this love, in particular from this maternal energy, which is most likely her mother or her grandmother energy, that type of feeling. She has her head above the clouds now, though, and she's very clear on what she wants. This could be like, in some families, you just don't get divorced, and so maybe they're upset with her for something like that. We don't know yet. But in any case, in the end, it's going to be a victory. So let's keep going and see. Yes, a tower has hit. So the tower is a reality check, and I feel like something happened here. And it's caused, and like this King of Wands energy, remember what I said, like this could be someone that plays the field. So it could have been something that happened in their marriage, and it's causing this energy, a tower blue, basically. It doesn't have to be, but it just feels with the cards the way they are here that could be likely. And we have the tower blows. And this is when you're not really listening to your intuition, and it's sitting on that energy. And, you know, you knew in the back of your head, something is going on here. And you could see that it wasn't good, but you decided, okay, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it. And then kaboom, all of a sudden you have to. The reality check is never comfortable. Like when the tower hits, it means like you didn't nip it in the bud. And so it's just grown and grown, and now it's like way bigger. The castle, basically, the lightning hits it, the castle's on fire. 2 people are falling out. Now one looks shocked and the other one looks like, ugh, I knew I should have dealt with this sooner, that type of energy. So I feel like with all this energy here, this could be the person that's more surprised, like shocked, and they've had to deal with this energy, and they've made their decision, and perhaps it's not in alignment with their family for whatever reason. And then we have, okay, there's a new lover coming in. So this energy generally is talking about a divine partner coming in. So this could be not about divorce. This could be about arranged marriage. That's the type of energy. And maybe this is your energy, or, you know, take it how it works, that you refuse to marry the person that your parents want you to marry. You have someone else that you want to. And this is considered, like, in a lot of families, this would be like really a serious matter. So when there's an arranged marriage, and you refuse, or you maybe step out and you choose someone that's totally not in alignment with the values of this society, religion, culture, whatever this is, group that you're expected to adhere to. And I feel that's what's coming up. So this is, but this is someone that you feel very much in alignment with. We have the sun here. God approves of this relationship. This is representing someone that you haven't been intimate with before. You might know of them. And the cloud, because that's what the cloud means, you don't know each other that well, or at all, you haven't met. But definitely, I feel it's that type of energy. And this is you having to be very, like, we have 3 queens out here now, and look at, all 3 queens are sitting here. And sometimes we don't have an empress energy out here. Sometimes if there's an empress out and all these queens show up, it's saying that this is the story of how you became an empress, but I don't think so. I think this is a lot of talk, and it's high up in the elite fields. Like, this is, you know, like a lot of royalty in that they actually have a lot of arranged marriages, and they might not seem that way when, you know, the news doesn't slant it that way. But generally that can be, there's a lot of cultures that have these, and it's about making alliances with other people. And so this is quite often about pentacles, right? And so if I feel that's the energy, because this is talking about generational wealth, but it's also talking about the Queen of Pentacles is known to be very resourceful. She can make something out of nothing. She prefers, like, this is old money, like, generational wealth that's passed down from one generation to the next. And maybe this is like a dowry energy or something like that. And now, like, she's refusing this, and it's going to cost everybody, like in her family, this big pentacle that was supposed to be coming in, because she refuses. She wants to go with her heart rather than with what the family's expectations of her are. So this energy could be representing that. And and maybe now she has to be resourceful because now she's been kicked out of the family for doing this. Some sort of energy around that. It's slightly different from the other reading. The other reading was more about religion. Well, I guess it could be a little bit about that, but this I feel like has a huge money angle. Like it's like an arranged marriage for that was supposed to benefit the family line, more like that, or the country or something like that. So this is talking about High Priestess energy. A lot of information. I feel like, there's a lot of chatter around this. There's a lot of people talking about this that are high up. And this is her using her intuition, saying that she's staying steadfast in this energy. Like her parents, if this is your parents, like the energy is... this is really extreme for them. And you're sitting in this in-between energy, in between what they want you to do and what you want to do. And this is saying, well, at that time you would need to use your intuition. You don't want to have a closed mind here. And no wonder you're leaking energy. This is like very public, very public. Wow. And people didn't expect this, that you were going to balk and say, no, I'm not doing this. And so that's the decision making here. And this is between the two extremes. You're sitting in between and you're using your intuition. So this is saying there's so many options here and there's so much information coming in. And it's talking about all the potential of that. Loss to your parents, the countries, whatever, the society, whatever this is. And then, but also on your end, wanting to do what's right for you. Interesting. So, and this, now we have a pre-Empress energy. So this could have pushed you into your, like, this is like really having to make difficult decisions here. And when you do that, this is talking about, remember, this isn't just money. So this is lifestyle. And a pre-Empress energy means like we only have one queen that's not missing here. So I think there is a lot of talk about it, but this also could represent how making this difficult decision and everything that you've had to go through has made you pre-Empress energy. So the only queen that's not out here now is the Queen of Swords. No, we have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, we have the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. So why is this so challenging? There's no passion. See, there would be no passion in that relationship, but you have passion for this other. So we don't have the Queen of Wands out. And so it's talking about you're feeling very passionate about this other person and you would rather trade in some coin, I feel, and your lifestyle that's maybe more challenging than to not have passion in your life. This is saying you have a lot of love and passion for this person. So here we go. This is talking about learning discernment, the give and take in life, that type of energy, and having the foresight. And this is saying being grateful for what you have and saying I'd rather have less pentacles and less of a lifestyle and have the person in my life that I feel passionate about, that I want to move forward in life with. Really interesting energy. So we have, this is of course a major transition. And I like this card, a lot of times people are afraid of this card, but it's not saying necessarily that there's going to be a death, and it rarely does mean that. It's more like a transition of energy. And we do have a king here who's trampled, and this isn't representing someone actually trampling a king, but it's talking, it's sitting on the king here. So it's saying that this is going to have a major effect on the monarchy, wherever this is, because of this choice. The country's not going to have the money in. Maybe the whole country is going to be disappointed. It could have a negative effect on the monarchy because you're not doing what they want you to. Or just on the bloodline, that kind of energy. But this is saying that this card is about transitions happening that you never thought would fall. That, a lot of those arranged marriages, some of them work out, but a lot of them, when it comes to royalty, they'll have people on the side a lot of the time. And it's kind of more of a position than it is about love. But they try and slant it to the public and to their country and like as if it's, the romance novels. But this is talking about transition of something that people thought would never happen. So if you're a princess and your parents are a king and a queen, and take this relatively, like this could be like, they don't have to actually be that, but like they're public figures, and the expectation was you were going to go in this direction, and then you don't. This could be like you might be the first person in your family that's ever said, no, I'm not doing that. And so it can be a real big deal. And because of that, this energy, we have this energy coming out of being stabbed in the back because of being left for unalive. This is saying, if you make this course, then it could be saying that you are no longer welcome in the family. I was going to put it a different way, but with this card and this card together, it's kind of like, as far as they're concerned, you're not alive anymore, and you're not welcome in the family. And if that's the decision you're going to make, they feel that you have totally misrepresented the family, that type of energy. It's a very, in some cultures, this would be a very big deal. So this is you out there on your own. And so let's let's hope that this, because it feels like the only other character out here is the King of Wands. So let's hope that the King of Wands is, offering a good cup of love here for you, that it's worth it for you to make these sacrifices, basically. And we have some sneaky energy here. So this is talking about, I feel like, though, that this is more like maybe you're eloping, and that's what you're planning to do, because I feel like this energy is, normally I'd say, this is the shift disturber, but I feel like this is being sneaky for, like, have to be kind of energy. Like maybe you already got married or something like that. We have the Two Swords here, and that could be the decision, right? Maybe having to tell them, yeah. And so this is but like, this is dangerous. So this person is the shift disturber. It's not my favorite card. It's talking about someone whose energy is unreliable in my eyes. Like, he's sneaking around in broad daylight, but now, like in this context, it could be because it's kind of like that's the only way that they can get this done. He's planted these, like it's like these two swords are like these two swords, and the decision's been made that you're sneaking out of town with him, and you're going to elope and get married, or you've already done it, that type of energy. And because and what I don't like about this card is that look how he's carrying these swords, and they're really sharp. Like, this is dangerous. And so normally I'd say this is like someone who's sneaking around with bad vibes, but I feel like this is sneaking around, and it's dangerous for him for sure. And for you, if you're in this situation, if you're eloping. That's the energy I'm picking up. So it's kind of a different reading. Yeah, look at that. Because this is about, see, in the beginning I thought, well, maybe this isn't about love. It's not about love for the family energy or the country, but it is about that for you. So you're standing your ground. Like, this is saying, the Page of Cups energy is saying, I know there's plenty of fish in the sea, but this is the cup this is the fish I'm focused on. This is the one that I want to be with. This is who I want my spouse to be. And that's what I'm focused on. Keeping your focus. And look at, then there's that other cup of love. So you're going to have to keep your focus to be able to get this done. Makes sense. And this can also say, be talking about how your parents or in the community or whatever were wanting you to marry or take into your romantic life this the person that they chose. Really interesting reading. It's so dramatic. Yeah, you're left out of the cold now. So this decision is it's a final. This is saying you making this decision, as far as they're concerned, you're not alive to them anymore. Don't bother phoning. We don't want to hear about it. We don't want to hear if you have children. You're out of our lives, out of the, no communication. And quite often in a lot of these situations, they actually do that, where if you don't follow the rules of the society or the church or whatever it is, that then the other people are not there to treat you as if you don't exist anymore. Even if that's your own child or if it's your parents or whoever it is, it doesn't matter. I don't understand it myself. I'm like, isn't that for God to judge, not for a human being to do so? But whatever. I don't want to get into a debate with anyone over it, but I feel like this is what's happened. Now you're left out in the cold. This is saying that you're going to have way less less of a lifestyle for sure, but you're going to be with the person that you want to be with, and good for you, I guess. This is talking about a lot of energy was put into stopping you from doing this. And so this is a final decision I'm getting. I'm getting that the chances of you ever being invited back into the family circle are pretty slim, almost zero. But this is a breath of fresh air for you because you're doing what is the right thing for you to do. And this is talking about thinking outside the box compared to everybody else around you. Woo, you're brave. This is a brave energy to say, no, I'm doing what I have choice, I have my freedom. And that's what the Lover's card is about. It's about having choice, about who you want to have in your life and who you don't. And they're choosing not to have you in theirs. I feel you're very sad. This wasn't a decision you made lightly, but this is like a breath of fresh air, having your freedom. I can just feel you at the top of the hill going, freedom! That type of energy. Freedom is discipline of the mind. It would take a lot of discipline to be able to get through this energy. There's a lot of energy behind this. A lot of, this is representing a lot of snowflakes. And these people, the one here, he's got a plague bell on, and it's when they come into town, the bell rings and he's forced to wear this bell. In the old days, they didn't have apps for when there was plagues and stuff going around. To ostracize people, they had to rely on a bell, and they'd force someone to wear it. And then if you came close to town, you could hear this person coming in town, ding, 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 and so that would warn everybody to run away and not to have anything to do with you. And I feel that's the energy here. Alarm bells going off, that kind of energy. So, whoa, this is a bit of a different reading. So this is talking about getting what you want and wanting a cup of love with this person. Bottom line, it's caused a major, major tower. And, it's because you want to be with this person, and your parents and this community wants you to be with someone else. And this is talking about, or you're making choices. It doesn't have to be about love still, but you're making choices that they don't agree with. And so you're being ostracized from the community, basically. And then this is, the story, basically having the freedom. You now have the freedom. I don't feel that this is a decision that is changeable after you made this decision. No matter what happens, I feel like it's done. And this is talking, though, about when you have that discernment and you're in this power, it's saying that you're at pre-empress energy, so you're a powerful manifester. And now that you've made this decision, decisions after that are going to be very easy for you to make, to be in victory. I feel that it's going to be, you'll have a good life because of it. And this energy, I mean, this is sad energy for sure. And I'm also getting that it took you a while to make this decision. So yeah, I guess, you know, that's life for some in some cultures. And, you know, I'm not going to comment on it personally too much because I don't understand it really. And I don't understand when they say it has to do with God. I just don't get it. But that's not really for me. I don't concern myself too much with religion. I rather go to the source of pray to God himself, straight to God. I find that works out really well for me. I feel like it's a better relationship with the Most High. And so let's clarify this with my oracle for those of you that want clarification. If you're here still and you want to leave the reading here, thank you for your time and energy. Consider giving it a like and comment and subscribing if you resonate. I would be honored if you did so. Now, whoa, this is the cards that wanting to come out here. So my oracle is Tales from the Vector, and I began this in 2007. But in 2020, I completed all the 64 paintings. So I'm working on bringing it out. I have some written information, but I really want to play with the cards because it's so different. Like when you're building an oracle like this, it's very different what you have written down and then what works in real life. And so this energy, all these numbers on these cards are representing the paintings, how they're on my website, talesfromthevector.com. I have a gallery of the paintings, and this is how they're numbered there. So I will put them in the description box below, and you can take a look at it there. All right, we have we starting off with the underlying energy is Virgo. And so this is talking about things being lined up perfectly. So I feel like to be victorious, you had to do your, contain your emotions and be very clear on what you want. Virgo energy is really good at analytical critique. You have to be careful with the anal criticism end of it. I just want to point out that when horoscope signs come up in my readings, I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about the energy of that sign. So yeah, to put this into this plan into action, you probably had to do a lot of, organization and planning to pull this off, because there was a lot of energy here saying that they didn't want you doing this. So dissemination of information, elephant, what elephant? So yeah, dissemination is when people speak in a way that it's not really clear, so that you can't really, it's kind of divides and conquers the energy a little bit, or lets people get away with whatever they're saying because they're not really saying what they mean, or they're saying it using words in a language that a lot of people wouldn't understand. And then this is definitely talking about a choice and it's sitting right on this energy and juggling two lifestyles. This could be someone that's totally not the same lifestyle as yours, and that's a big no-no for some people. It could even be about race. It could be about culture. It could be so many things. This is talking about attitude. And so having a strong attitude, you can wish for something, but if you wish for something, it means you don't have it. You have to stay in the game. And if you, wish on a shooting star and you just sit there, it's not going to happen. So this is about having a good attitude throughout all this, and you would have to be able to pull this off. The sun energy is talking about God shining his light and happiness on this situation. So even if the people around you aren't happy for you, this is God is. This is this person is actually sent to you by God, basically. So this is God's plan, and God doesn't, isn't going to have his plan changed by mere mortals, right? And so the Hierophant energy is about the justice coming in. The Hierophant is responsible for bringing the justice in, but this is traditional structure. And I feel like this is really breaking traditional structure, and it's sitting right here on this energy here. So definitely some sort of energy around that. And then this is talking about, yeah, abuse of power. So, abuse of power is a karmic space we fall into. Like, if you become powerful and at the top of a society or whatever, and your word is law, and you think that's even more so than God's law, I don't know. I guess that's up to you to decide about that. But I don't know, to have this kind of energy where people end up like not speaking to their own children and not being, and like someone that was raised by all these people, like not being allowed to be part of the community anymore because of decisions. I'm not going to call it on that. It's not my place, I don't feel. But yeah, I feel it's a very sad transition. I can't imagine that energy of not ever speaking to my children again. I don't understand it, but I'm just going to move on with that. This is following your guiding star. So this is the North Star energy, doing what you feel is in your authentic heart's desires. And that's God's plan for you. And as long as you're okay with God on it and you're okay with the person that you're with, that seems like this is right on here. This person is everything you've ever wished for. And then this cup of love comes in, and when God is when the sun is shining on this, it's saying that it's the happiest card in the deck. So I feel it does turn out to be a victory for you. It's just like, whoa, what a lot of energy here. I can just feel it, like it's, really challenging energy. We've got the Sagittarius energy coming in here, and this is basically saying like wanting to have your freedom. The Sagittarius energy is about traveling and expansion, and Sagittarius, their freedom, that all the fire signs have a tendency to be that way, but of them all, Sagittarius likes to travel and go to different cultures and explore different cultures, and enjoys being friends and like with a lot of different people from different walks of life. And so I could see that energy coming in here. And then all that energy I was talking about, that of all those planets moving into Aries, of it being like, this is almost like a big decision that you've had to make about, are you going to do you or are you going to be you? And so what I mean by do you, like, are you going to be the person that all the people around you feel that you should be, and this is what you should do? Or are you going to be your authentic self and be passionate about your life? And, so, hey, that's a big choice to make. And then we have the Gemini energy, standing in your truth. And I spoke about that with Uranus in Gemini, really supports it. And then look at the top, we have the star. So this is talking about you. I feel like really this reading might be one of those readings where there's other people that are in a similar situation as you, and like it doesn't have to be to this extreme or about this exact thing, but who are afraid to be who they really authentically are and go after their authentic desires for whatever reason. It doesn't matter what the reason is so much. And they feel like they have to do what everybody around them expects them to do, or what society expects them to do, instead of doing what they love to do and what they're passionate about. And then they trade in being themselves to please others, and then not having any passion for them, for their journey. So if you're a star, you're meant to shine. That energy's been coming up a lot. So I feel like this is really a beautiful reading. You're very brave. And, you're probably inspiring a lot of other people to be brave during these times as well, just through this reading. You've inspired me. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Give it a like and comment. Let us know down below if you resonated, if this has inspired you in some way to be more yourself. And also consider subscribing if you resonate. I would be honored if you did so. I will have another daily reading for you again tomorrow. Bye for now. Sorry, little kitty, I have to wake you up. Yeah, you've been purring away. Okay.